But here we're going to look at two extremes. Okay, we're going to look at the acceleration sort of potential of the car, how that traction control helps us under acceleration, and then also how quickly we can stop and how the ABS works. So when I say go here, it's good fun. I just want you to go full power straight away. Don't feed it in or anything like that, just full power, because we want to test, we want to challenge this traction control as much as possible. Because in a car with this amount of power, you wouldn't normally want to apply the power like that, would you? But we're going to see how good this Mercedes stability control and traction control and everything is. And then likewise, we're going to test the limits of the brakes, because we're going to build up speed pretty quick. When I say brake, I want you just to hit the brakes as hard as you can until we come to a complete stop. Now it's got a great ABS system. Do you know what ABS is?
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. You would have done that on the winter driving thing. But just like you may have done before, obviously you don't have to worry about locking up and skidding. It's a great ABS system, so you can really hit the brakes very, very hard. Okay?
Yeah.
So just have a practice hitting the brake for me as hard as you can. That's it. Once again, really hard. That's it. So as hard as you can hit the brakes.
Mash it through the floor.
Yeah, exactly. So, so foot on the brakes, into drive, and we just stay dead straight down here. Stay at full power until I say brake. Okay. Let's go. Full power. Good. Just stay at full power. Keep it going. 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 Brake. Harder. 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 Excellent. Now, there's a few things which happened there, aren't there?
Yeah.
Now,
how was it? It thinks we were about to crash.
Yeah, it did think we were about to crash. It sensed those barriers there. And I think, to be fair, I think it surprised the car, even how quickly it stopped, because obviously we're nowhere near it. So the seat belt's obviously clamped us in. It's something called pre-safe. And our brake lights strobe, and our hazard lights come on as well. That's more warning people around you. But how did it feel when you put your foot down?
But there was a slight delay initially, and then I felt traction control coming on. I felt it do that.
But it's pretty stable, isn't it?
Yes, but then it took off.
Yeah, and then it's quick, right? It really is. And then braking, how did it feel when you hit the brakes?
Yeah, it was stable, wasn't it? Just I felt the ABS, obviously.
And it's really good to get used to ABS and not afraid of it. And you see, did it feel like it was going to go off one direction or the other or anything like that?
No, it was fine.
Well, let's go and try it again, okay? So just off at the end and then round to the left. Tango 76 to Daffod.
Daffod doesn't want to talk to you.
No.
Easy to forget 30, as you said, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
We're going back in here again.
Yeah, left here and then back into bay number 1 again.
Tango 12 Tower.
Sorry, bay 1, did you say?
Yeah, just around. Yeah. So that delay, partly is when you put your foot down, is partly because it's bi-turbo. So obviously any sort of turbo, you get a bit of lag, just a little bit of lag. Another part of it is the traction control going, okay, let's work this out, you know. Now this time, we're going to do exactly the same as before, but we're going to sort of test the stability under braking, okay? So when I say brake, I want you to hit the brakes as hard as you can, just like before, it was brilliant. But the moment you hit the brake pedal, take your hands completely off the steering wheel. And we're going to see what happens to the balance of the car. And I might say brake a little bit later than I did before, but just go with it. Alright?
Fine.
Let's go, full power. Stay at full power. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Brake, hands off the wheel. And look at that. Dead straight, under control. No worries whatsoever. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? And then you've got the hazard lights and everything on there. Now, obviously you never want to take your hands off the steering wheel under any circumstances while braking, but that's just more of an educational point of view to understand what ABS is all about. And ABS is actually working with the ESP, which is the Electronic Stability Program, and you can see how it's helping to maintain balance. You can still turn to avoid stuff, but it's pretty amazing the fact that you should have confidence with it. If you ever need to use the brakes in future, don't be afraid to really hit them hard. A lot of people, there's misconceptions of the fact they're just going to massively lose control. But when you first started driving, you may have had a car without ABS. And then you only do it once, don't you, when you lock up, and it's horrible. And you've got to come off the brakes then to have any control back. And then, you know, so it's just nice to get used to a car with ABS, because, you know, every modern car now has to have ABS. You know, it's the law. So good job. And then we're just going to come off just off at the end here. We'll go back around and we'll come down here a bit quicker next time, because we're going to use something called launch control.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Excellent. Now, have you ever heard of launch control?
I have heard of launch control, yes.
It's a pretty cool system. It's good fun as well. But it's...
You hate your job, don't you? I can tell.
It's a really good fun system, but it's come down actually from Formula One, which is, it was designed to give you the perfect race start every time, basically, to even take into account the conditions. And now it's banned, obviously, because it was said to make it too easy for the driver. But it's come down into road cars, and it gives you a good chance to see exactly the true 0 to 60 potential of your car under safe-ish conditions as well. So it's really built for the dry, so it's a little bit too aggressive for the wet, but we're still going to use it anyway. We'll see how it copes. But basically what you'll do, it'll take away any of that delay. So what you do is you integrate both feet. So you hold it with your left foot on the brake, and then we program in launch control. And then while holding it on the brake, you just go full power at the same time. And it knows you're doing launch control, so it holds it at optimum revs. Okay. Again, you're at full power, and then when you're ready to go, you just come off the brakes. And then you've got all the turbo lag, everything out of the way, so it all comes in at once. It also tones down the traction control system, so it gives you more leeway. So you might get a little bit more of a theatrical start, you know, but then it's going to go through the gears quicker, and all in all be a much quicker start. And then when I say brake at the end here, remember to use your right foot normal and hit the brakes as hard as you can.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, put your left foot onto the brakes. That's it, and I'll just put it into, you see how it says race start?
Yep.
Just confirm with paddle up, so let's just flick that in once. So both hands on the wheel. Now go full power, and then off the brakes. And just full power. That's it, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Brake. And that's like 7 mile an hour quicker by the time we hit the brakes there. So it is actually a lot quicker than it was before, because can you feel like it's still touch of wheel spin even in like third gear?
Yes.
So it's just toned everything down. It's far more aggressive. As I said, it's not really for greasy conditions like this, but in the dry it makes a ton of difference. But it's quite an exciting thing to have a play with, isn't it?
It is.
So you can say you've done launch control now.
In someone else's car.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to worry. And then left just out of here.